All right, my camera is on. Mic check one, two. Eewit, eewit. I am with a beautiful individual from Australia. And can you please say your name?
David Tapia.
David Tapia. Can you please tell how you found me and what your interests are and why you've reached out and the kind of things you want to know?
Um, let's see. I think I've been following you for about a year, and I think I found you from. It could have been Instagram or YouTube, but I've been following a lot of, well, not a lot, just certain people. Like I used to. What was it? David Wilcock started me on some interesting things back in 2012, and then lately, then Santos Bonacci, some of the synchronicity things he said, and even and lately people like Shervin 333. So I think through there I saw one of your videos and I was just like, wow, like it's all synced and all very fast. So yeah, I was just blown away and yeah.
Awesome. Well, Santos and I are connected, and I've known Santos for a few years, and he kind of gave me the blueprint for syncretism, and then I just went on my own thing. So he's also from Australia, but what I want to tell you about where you're from a very powerful part of the earth. The earth is the body of Christ. Before I get into your name, I want to explain where you are geographically and how you and I are connected to Africa. Too much division today with race, gender, too many parents today that have abused us, whether it was mentally, through the diet, pop culture, religions, and they weren't really thinking about the end result. And once the child grows up and has to deal with a corporate world that's only concerned about money and sex and division, usually elders, whenever I do a reading, it's an elder in someone's energy that has caused or influenced a certain mental health issue. So what I'm going to do with this reading is for mental health. It's to look into people in your life and numbers and connections. We're all psychic. We're all connected. It's for unity. It's not for ego. I am not a guru. I am not perfect, but I am a perfect creation. So you live in Australia is Ostada. Ostada would be Inanna or Venus, the Eastern Star. We have the phosphorus in our body. In etymology, my videos are all about this. Phosphorus means the morning star. And also in etymology, Lucifer is the morning star, Satan, and Venus. So humans are also satanic and can be influenced by dark energies. And isn't it interesting today, David, that we're having a lot of trauma, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that I'm speaking to are talking about this Mercury retrograde and everyone's down, sort of depressed.
Yep.
People who I would have never associate talking about these things, they I'm like, okay, so it's finally real and being more exposed and accepted,
Yeah.
not hiding things and just,
Absolutely. So I am grateful you reached out to me, and I'm going to say this. You have the 12 apostles in Victoria Island, yes or no? In Australia.
Yep.
Now, there you go. Yeah. There you go, man. Now watch this. That's Australia. Let's go to America. Texas has the Corpus Christi, is the body of Christ. So anyone watching this video who's looking for flaws and a blah, 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 I get comments once in a while from ignorant people who are mind controlled from religion. Earth is Christ. Your body is also earth. So hence, you are the 12 apostles, and I would be the Corpus Christi, yes or no?
It's all one. It's all
yes, sir. Great.
As what you just said before, how we are also the negative and the positive, the dark evil, if you like to call it, the positive light. So it's all one. And I'm thinking we have a choice, and it's more. What struck me is that, as you said, the wiser we become, the more power we have, but the more power not to choose what could cause us harm, and other people are us. And that's something that I've been feeling lately. It's like I'm looking around at other people and I'm just like, that is me. But at the same time, it's the complete opposite. But at the same time, it is also me. So yeah, and that's a real
Awesome.
positive realization.
Wonderful. So I'm also going to say I've done readings for about 3 years now, and I've done England, someone from Albania, I've done America, I've done young people, old people, females and males, and now I'm in Australia, so I'm grateful. So now we're going to dig into your name. So do you have a middle name, my brother?
I was given Andre.
Oh, wow. Great. Let's use that too. All right, so I'm going to start right away. So your first letter is D, of course. So that would be a 4. D, and then plus A is a 1. Plus the V for Venus, I believe, is a 4 again. Cool. 4. DAVI is a 9. And D, I believe, is a 4 again. Wow. Already you got 3 4s, man. Powerful. Now, is Andre for you spelled Andre?
Yep.
Awesome. Andre. A is a 1. N, I believe, is a 5. AN. D again is a 4. Yep. Wow, a lot of 4s. AN. AND plus R is a 9. Plus E is a 5. Nice. ANDRE. And your last name is?
Tapia. TAPIA.
Awesome. Tapia. T is for 2. Very good. T. A is a 1. P, very unique name. P is a, where is the P? A 7. Nice. TAP, and then I is a 9, and then A. Great. Okay, is a 1.
Apparently originates from Spain, I think. Spanish.
Well, I'll tell you, Tapia is also tilapia, the fish. Now, that's the Jesus fish Pisces, and it makes the eye symbol, in which you have your celebrities today doing the one eye symbol. It's simply they're taking our symbols. The stars can go dark and light. Stars don't speak like we do. They speak through us. We have the free will to balance the difference. And you have a government now all over the world that knows our sacred truth and has simply made a fortune off of our low self-esteem. Now, this equals, whoa! Wow, brother. Woo! Okay. Before I get into this number, I have 2 6s. It's very powerful. So you're in Australia. Ostara is Venus. 2 6s is your 666 carbon 12. 6 protons, electrons, and neutrons. So I'm going to ask you, is anyone from your past, doesn't have to be family, the number is 66. Any elders, any influences of people who are older who may have caused you an influence of harm or made it difficult for you? Take your time. Take your time.
Not that I could think of. I've had an uncle who had Alzheimer's, and he was, but he didn't cause much harm. But I could see that maybe there was a bit of the way that he showed love was a bit different or quirky, in terms of he, like a extra strong handshake.
Yeah.
And it's uncomfortable, when you get bullied at school and the bully will,
yes,
you and that. So maybe that, but besides that, there's always been a lot of love. But
very
recently,
good.
Recently, I've been going through a lot of trauma,
sure,
trauma, and arguments with parents. But it's just a misunderstanding. But
sure. Well, the misunderstanding relates to trauma, and we actually had a moment here psychically. So the Alzheimer's relates to harm. So your family member there was harmed probably by corporate products. There's aluminum in deodorant. There's sodium fluoride in everything. And bless these human beings today with corporate products. So there is some harm here. And that relates to you. It causes a vibration. It causes a wave. We're full of water. And now today you are battling some energy. So now I'm going to ask you, does the number 66, and take your time, the number 66, 12, or 3 mean anything to you? Take your time.
I mean, for me, 12 has always been a representation of the year, 12 months in a year.
Yep.
It's like from when I was young, it's just been programmed in me. 12 is the year. 66, not so much. Like besides the 666, which is being programmed to me as like the devil's number, but 66 and 3 to me has always just been like pyramid or trinity. As even as a young person, I've heard just 3 pyramid triangle. But in terms of like for me, the numbers that have resonated with me for some reason is the number 7 and the color green. And
nice.
That was when I was like young.
I'm wearing Moldavite for green right now. Now I'm gonna blow your mind, brother, because you just actually reminded me. I just said 12 apostles, Victoria Island. Yes or no?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, brother. Your number 66 is 12, homie. That means you probably should travel there and do some healing if you can. And whatever you're dealing with right now, just give it to the earth. Go there, and all your wisdom that like you're very well versed. I can hear you're open to nature, and just go there, man, and just listen to the water and listen to the vibration of the rocks and walk barefoot there. Chant Hare Krishna if you can. Bring anything important to you from your past, any colors you love. The number 7, wear that, and just stand there and love yourself. And just by doing that, I guarantee you, your number is going to show up all over the place. Look for 66 on license plates, clocks, 12 and 3. Does this make any sense to you?
Yep.
Okay, great.
That sounds like a good adventure. Yeah.
Absolutely. Everything's about an adventure. So now we're going to decode this number and dig into it and just find more connections to help you with your the issues you're having lately. So now 3, I know for a fact, I believe, is the Ascended Masters. And it relates to communication, self-expression, and adventure. Wow. Isn't that awesome? Great. You just said that. You just said that. So you're psychic. So now I'm going to give that to you. I'm only good because of the people that reach out to me. So anyone watching this video, please, I beg you, this is the real work, not my videos. Talking to a human being who I can learn from and also help me to get deeper with what's going on, because I don't know everything. So here we go. Number 3 also relates to inner wisdom, manifesting your desires. Do you feel like you're being blocked right now from manifesting a desire? Do you feel repressed? Do you feel stuck?
Oh, absolutely. The most in that I've ever felt in my entire life. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Would you say the reasons for your being stuck, is it an elder person, someone older, or your age? I don't know how old you are, but is there anyone influencing that's older that might be kind of adding to that?
I think it's a combination of myself and also probably after what's happened with me, there was a big misunderstanding. So it would be that my parents would. It's
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to actually also blow your mind again, because recently I was hanging out with a friend of mine who's coming over later. I do holistic dance, and I do the same thing, but I teach dance, and I get people to associate themselves as a solar plexus, as the sun, as a light. And I get them to move through their experiences of trauma, believing in the self. Everyone stops being creative. You notice how we start off as a baby. We're doing everything. We dance, we eat our boogers, we're touching our body parts, we're bumping our head. We get older and we don't rap, we don't dance, we don't sing, we don't have any creativity. We're all corporate. You see where I'm going?
Exactly, I feel that.
Yes, sir. So I just saw my name on a license plate recently, and the number was 921 HEJ equals 12 for the Empress. Is that blowing your mind right now? That was 3 days ago, my brother. So that means, yeah. Now, the number 3 is the Empress. It's a female. A lot of women today, very powerful. A lot of them don't know their symbols. And a lot of them, I would say, have been damned. And what happens with that is they end up, I called it killing us with kindness. So they mean well, but there's something that happens in which they don't know something and they end up maybe hurting. Do you have any past relationships, or are you involved with anyone now? And if I don't know how you associate, is there anyone feminine right now that you not necessarily having a problem with, but you're trying to maybe communicate or rebuild something with?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I actually saw a psychic, and she, like 2 weeks ago, and she raised exactly what you're saying. She says that there is someone overprotective, and it's to do with fear, and the fear has, extended from survival, from, even moving to this country through past generations, and always having to move countries in around Europe and Middle East. And that overprotectiveness is exactly what's the issue, which is my mother, because she's over loving and overprotective, and that's hit the nail on that. Nail on the hammer with that. So that resonates. Yeah,
that's awesome.
111%. Yeah,
that's awesome. So you notice how in the beginning you said that your family was mostly about love. And now you're saying that basically there was some issues there. So it takes time in these readings for people to just sort of really look at, the little holes. It's the family, brother. Family today is confused. The idea of family today is, you grow up, you get a job, you move out, you get married, you can't be this, you can't be that, be like this and be like that. And then it makes it very hard for us, right, to have a unique experience with things that we want to do. So then we end up being a reflection of someone else's past as opposed to a reflection of our own karma and our own past. See where I'm going?
Yeah, exactly.
And then it makes the future harder and it gives us bad karma, hence killing us with kindness. Now I'm just going to show on the screen right now that I have, hold on, if it shows up, this my JHE name, and 921 is right there. So I'm showing everyone right now that this guy and I are united. It's a bit dark. And there is HEJ921 YouTube people. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Now, that's 12. Now, it's a bit dark in my apartment right now, but I'm making it work. So now I'm going to go into more numbers for you. So the number 3 is Mars. Everyone that I've ever decoded relates to Mars directly. That's the god of blood, the god of war, the god of sacrifice, the hero, right? And the protector of Earth. Mars and Venus had a little bit of a battle. It was sexual and it was physical. When Venus first was created, if you research, and Santos has mentioned this guy, Immanuel Velikovsky's Worlds in Collision, Ostara, or Isis, fell into Mars. And there's a painting called Venus and Mars. And you look at Mars as the hero, and he's drained of his energy. I'm not damning women. Women are very powerful, is my point. Mama's milk. A lot of us have mama issues. My mama beat me. Still love her. We don't talk anymore because of obviously not dealing with apologizing and saying, hey, I'm sorry for being so harsh and doing things to you. Ego. So Mars protected the Earth from Venus completely destroying it, which means you have a lot of, let's say, pressure on you. Do you feel pressure? Do you feel like sort of anxious? And do you also feel like you're someone that could be a big brother? Are you someone that people tend to want to go to feel protected or to feel safe? You sound like it.
The first two parts you mentioned, the anxious and a lot of pressure, that is spot on. The big brother part, perhaps not as much, probably because I've been under too much of the first 2 points, that I haven't been in that place where people can see that I'm, at that point. But that is my intention. That is the true intention inside. I just don't show it enough because I'm not there yet. But yeah, I am overprotective to the point of the extreme, and yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, that's cool.
Are you single?
Yeah.
Okay. So great. That gives space to sort of see more of this number now. So the Empress, the color here is yellow. Now, yellow is neutral, right? The stop sign, you know what I mean? The traffic light, when we're driving, we have a sex drive. And when we're driving, the car is the ka is the soul, Ka, aha. You have a car called SOL, soul. Yellow is neutral. Yellow is the middle point. It is Middle East. And I can't believe that we don't research and look at Arabs differently today. We let CNN and TV damn people who have a lot of relations to us. Does the color yellow mean anything to you? And has it brought any kinds of recent, let's just say, influences to you at all? Take your time. Take your time. Take your time.
I mean, for me, yellow has always represented the sun, and
Yep.
I do spend a lot of time, just trying to meditate and unwind and watching the actual. In Australia, with the bushfires recently, the sun has become a huge, well, more of an orange ball and in the haze, and it's just, but yeah, it's been spectacular. But yellow sun, that's probably about it. I mean, when I see yellow, I'm always thinking an abstract color, really out there,
So yellow is fertility. Fertility is fertile, is creative energy. That means sexual energy. Now, I have an issue with lust. I was raised on Disney. I was raised by a single mom who had many boyfriends. And when I was young, she would have her boyfriends. And I love my mom, but she'd have her boyfriends come in the bedroom. I was afraid of the dark, wanted to be beside her, and she would have sex. Hence, my sexual energy is one of my things I'm working on. How do you feel with your fertility, with your sexual energy, your vigor, your libido? How is it doing?
That is, I haven't. I know it's right to, when they say right, find someone, stick to someone, And with me, I was like a shy, and I was a late starter, and I sort of said, well, I'm missing out, and I think I had too many. Well, when I say too many partners, it's probably not. It's probably under the limit that people would say, oh, that's you've slept around with many people. It's way less. But with me, it's like I understand that to find someone is the other half, the other part of God, and have love is the way forward. But I with that energy, sexual energy with me, it's been up and down, and I do have an issue with it too, where I give it away too much, and how they say don't sell yourself too short, don't that's I feel like I've been doing that to myself, and I haven't been sticking to what my morals and what I truly want and I truly find attractive in every way, so I've been selling myself short, and that's how I feel. And I know that does cause a lot of pain, and it can, emotional and physical, and it's very draining too. Just waste a lot of time. But
awesome.
Go ahead. Say nothing really is a waste of time. That's what they say too.
Yes, well, time is just an illusion for us to basically, get on our biological clock. Biology, Gaia, Earth. Everyone damns Earth. I went outside on a sunny day 3 days ago. I went outside, took my shirt off, lied down in front of my apartment, closed my eyes for 10 minutes. I get up and go for a walk. The police came and a fire truck. And I'm thinking to myself, that can't be for me. And of course it was. The cop came to me and said, excuse me, sir, we got a call that there was a body on the grass. And I was like, yeah, that was me. I was sun gazing and solar bathing. I said, I'm a nature person. This is not the only time this has happened to me. You see where I'm going with fear? And even the cop said, the person didn't even ask if I was okay. They just saw me on the grass, my brother, and they freaked out and they called the police. They didn't say, hey, mate, how are you doing? You see where I'm going today? Our neighbors, family, friends. I'm not damning people, but there's a fear of nature, and it creates a hard time for people like you and me who want to understand ourselves today. So when you go outside, you might get thrown in jail for simply watching the sun. You see what I mean?
Yeah, it's extreme nowadays. Yeah.
And I'm wearing a yellow mandala, by the way. Yellow mandala for your medulla, or Nelson Mandela. Right. Coincidence? I think not. We're all psychic. Now, before I go any further, we're at 24 minutes. How do you feel so far about this reading?
It's very good. It's good to actually, not be shy and just to really put your truth out there to the world, and and just let go of your fears and just say, well, this is you. This is where you're at in your life, and you're doing this because it's a good thing. And yeah, I'm happy that I took the chance and I reached out to you. Because I'm learning. There's so much I need to learn, and there's so much more. It's very it's a good thing. Yeah, and without pain, there's no growth. So
good point. Well said. I'm fighting really bad arthritis. Arthritis is art in heaven, and it's inverted. And your doctors today are making a fortune off of creating that with calcifications. I have it on my skull. I have it in my jaw. I have it in my neck. My shoulders pop out of joint. It's so bad from surgery. I have it in my knees and my ankles. This is why people who like to write stupid comments sometimes have no idea how much work it takes to go on the floor and break down the crystal, the inverted scarred tissue. So how is your physical body? The yellow would be the stomach, the gut, your solar plexus. Do you have any ailments, any allergies, anything to do with your stomach? Or do you know anyone who has, your father with, your uncle, Alzheimer's. But do you have anyone important to you that might have had some nausea, nervousness?
Well, with me personally, because I've been stressed, especially with the last 4 years of just injustice and all this rough trauma that I've been through. Like I was, just very quickly, I was in a horrible relationship, and I got served the lower end of the stick, and I couldn't speak out, and I had to suffer through that, and I was facing something very unjust. And during that fear, I wasn't thinking, and I had a head-on car collision, and I broke my knee. My kneecap was broken, and I'm lucky to still be alive.
Whoa!
And then I had to suffer again in an extreme manner, where I was facing something where my life was going to be really destroyed. And during that process, I was also pushing myself to be the opposite and just to accept and to heal. And that's and it's been positive, but it takes it out of you. And with me, it's taken, my knee hasn't recovered, because instead of putting full force towards it, I've been suffering. But my stomach, yes, the solar plexus, the stomach area has been extremely imbalanced, and it's almost as if a bacteria biome in the stomach is just, from the stress and the anxiety, knowing that your life could be in trauma, and when it comes down to life and death, everything just goes on survival mode. And I've been in survival mode for like four years straight, and yeah, so with myself, the gut is destroyed, and I'm doing everything I can to rebuild it. And my mother, equally, she's probably going into surgery and hospital for gut issues and, infections in your bladder or stomach. So she needs healing too.
Wow.
So I think everything is just shared, and.
Wow. I want to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Shiva Boom, Om JHE, and DAVID. We just had an amazing psychic moment right there, brother. There it is. So this is a simple, awesome build between you and I. So that car accident you had, the scar tissue around that kneecap, I'm going to encourage you. I don't want you to hurt it more, obviously, but it's going to protect itself. But by doing so, it's going to create another bone around your bone. When you go on the floor with your knee, look for anything crunchy. You want to gently push it against a hard surface, and you want to listen for things that sound like crunching, and gently break that stuff down. Because what it's going to do as you get older, my brother, you sound like you're young. It's going to make you age a bit older, and it's going to make the pain, it's going to be beyond belief. I'm feeling pains, my brother, that the average person would want to kill themselves. Like, I know that football players, they get head trauma so bad, scar tissue makes your brain swell. I have a friend I work with. His father has scar tissue so bad on his skull, he has freaking seizures. And I have it on my skull at 43, and I'm making it work. So it's very important to break down gently the scar tissue. Does that make sense?
Yep, I understand. Yeah.
Also, if you can fasting, a lot of solar gazing, early morning or late when the sun is down and calm, less food, less products, the less the better. Let your body kind of get skinny, but you'll still be strong. I look skinny, but I can walk on my hands all up and down the street. I encourage you to do some gymnastics, handstands against a wall, balance on your head, on grass. Yoga headstands are incredible. Get all the blood back to your temple, brother. Try to walk on your hands. When I was a child, I used to always do it. That is Hanuman, the monkey god. Right. When you walk on the earth with your hands, you're doing atlas. You're holding the earth, and the headstand strengthens your atlas. Your atlas is your map. And if we don't have a balanced atlas, we're going to break our backs and our necks for a world that only wants us to crunch numbers and not crunch scar tissue. See where I'm going?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep. And something that really fascinates me is the fact, how did we get we get into that world? Like, what everyone's, is it fear? Is it because they're afraid that, who knows? But there are just so many questions I have. And
I can tell you from my research how we got here. Very good question, man. And bless you. You're very relaxed and open, easy to talk to. You know how hard it is to find people to relate to who are awake? Like, this keeps me alive, man. Like, you people, the community is what keeps me alive, man. So bless you. In research, if you go to your Mahabharata, even your Greek mythology, okay? When Venus was created, once again, Australia, Ostara, the star, she's not all good. She has bad things. She brought us STDs. She brought us abuse and over-sexualization, which is making a killing today in music and freaking movies. When Venus was created, she basically had to go into the Tropic of Capricorn and become what is called the whore of Babylon. The Tropic of Capricorn is Saturn. Saturn rules death and skull and bones, but also Saturn is meditation, slowing down, and seeing the demons. So what Venus did was she danced with the devil. Very simple. In your Mahabharata, that would be your Pandavas, your Kauruvas, let's say your Crips and your Bloods, let's say your gays and straights, your Arabs and Christians. You see where I'm going? Now, it was meant for us to be going through what we're going through today. I know it looks crazy. The mind control is supposed to happen. Well, why? Because the human is I would say, the fifth element. We are the seventh day. God rested after making the human, meaning where every animal, where every piece of dirt, every rock, every mineral, all my presentations show you that you're related to stones, and you have a cuboid bone in the foot. The Kaaba of Mecca is a black stone. The cube is the foot. You walk upon Satan. You walk upon the foundation, in which your beautiful Venus made a division. She splitted things into two. Hence, two is also a symbol of birthing and females, fertility. The Empress comes back for your number again. Your number is about art, relationships, and you just mentioned relationships, so you are also psychic. I'm reading your tarot. Your Empress is simply about re-healing your Pandavas and your Kauruvas. Your Pandavas and Kauruvas are related, but your Pandavas had to kill their evil family member because Krishna says, hey, listen, I know they're related to you, but you must fight them because they're raping. They've lost their way. You must go and face them. That doesn't mean to kill them right away. But if we must sacrifice and protect the children and put your body in front of your child to protect them from pedophiles or gun violence, well, we kind of have to step up. You see where I'm going? Okay, so we are meant to fight the, let's just say, your evil twin, in which Venus danced with the Tropic of Capricorn. We're living in a Kali Yuga. Kali is cauliflower, is Saturn's wife. That would be Shakti and Shiva. So she's very tricky because she's also in the house of Taurus, where Cancer tropic is, where the sun yellow rules and you have a dark sun. Isn't it funny how we're in the age of Kali? And notice all the dark humor, my brother?
Oh, so much.
Oh, yeah. All of it's dark. Go ahead.
Yeah. I saw myself, producing a lot of dark humor, and
yep.
And I now I just try to go above it and just accept it, and
Great.
See the bigger picture.
Yes. Awesome. Wonderful build with you. So we're at 34 minutes. I'm going to go 45. So now your number 3 relates to growth, arts, relationship. It deals with Libra and Venus. Do those signs mean anything to you?
Libra, well, I mean, because I'm a Gemini, I'm the 6th. I see, that they always say Gemini's two different. It's split, and when I think Libra, I think it's you see it's a similar thing, but they're in different ways, But Libra, like it's justice, fairness, balance.
Yep.
That's what it means to me. And what was the other thing? The number?
Venus and Libra. But I'll tell you what's funny about what you just said. You just said 2. Now, I just said 2 before that, and how everything's about duality. So you and I are being psychic together, yes or no?
Anything is possible.
Now, 3 relates to danger, and you survived a car crash. I also survived a car crash too. I was hit from behind. The car was on fire and almost blown up, and I was actually okay. I know, it was pretty bad. And then I went on to teach ballet the same day. I was like, nah, I want to keep going. They were like, are you sure? I was like, yeah, ambulance, I'm good. The spirit. So danger. Do you have an attraction to kind of being on the edge, or do you feel like people around you are very edgy and into danger, and it kind of might put you in a interesting place?
The first thing you said, I have a attraction to being on the edge, like, whether it's, crossing the street, or that, going to the beach and just, say if there's a mountain ranging the beach, I'll sit near the edge and force myself just to overcome that fear, just doing things like that, riding a bicycle, just all over the shop, no helmet, even though that's illegal here in Australia, but just always trying to feel that sensation and spirit of just freedom, and like this is like a playground, and all these rules and constrictions given to you. It's like, fair enough, there are certain things that make sense, like, don't drink and drive, don't be off your face and drive. You could do what you were saying before, like with, Krishna and the gun, you've got to step up. So but with me, it's more like, well, I feel like sometimes it's too constraining, all these rules, and you want some sort of freedom and get out of this system, and, like, you've got to do this and this and this and this. So there has to be some give and play. There has to be some balance. So
yeah. Well, Gemini's twins, and we mentioned the number 2, which is great. But I think I don't know what your job is or what your passion is, but I hear personal trainer. I hear someone very physical, into adventure. I would encourage you to definitely be a big brother to someone. Mercury's the messenger. And you're someone that I think would be very useful to someone with low self-esteem who's struggling, because even though you're having issues and struggling, you're handling it well. You're not letting it whoop your ass. A lot of people can't do that. Does that resonate at all with you?
I might appear that I'm trying to take it well, but I am actually, I'm not in a good place. Like, my body's taking all the pain, physically. I really tried. I was at a good place to get past this, and it was working. And then there was something else that happened almost immediately. It was almost as if I knew the universe was testing me. It's like, okay, you want to put your money where your mouth is, and this is your new positive path of love and just forgiveness immediately, and then bang, it throws something at me, and I felt it was a test in my gut, but I didn't listen to my gut, and it was so quick from my past trauma, and I just fell. And it's just like, and of course I regret it, but still I haven't learned, the fact that I pushed everything I did to awaken and just to see what was right and the right thing to do. So the lesson is learned, and now I'm just sort of trying to struggle out of that. So it is hard, but so that's that. But
I get it.
In terms of like, what I like, I naturally I like art and drawing and playing music and being creative. I'm a very creative soul, but I've stopped that because just all this pain and trauma, and it's just hard to I've been blocked, and
Don't stop being creative, man. I'll tell you why. We're at 39 minutes. So I'm just trying to make sure I get enough of your energy and mine with it. You know what I was doing before I woke up? I was writing rhymes. I'm a rapper. I never stopped writing rhymes, man. And I was a dancer. And dude, I sprained, broke stuff. I have an ACL tear. I have a cadaver, a dead body part in my knee. You know what I mean? I've had head trauma. I've banged my head, concussions, but I always kept writing rhymes. So please, I beg you, keep being creative. It is our Father who art in heaven. Christians, Catholics, wake up. Creative energy, fertility. This build right now is simply to get you to not sit too much in the problem and to create something from the problem. Write a song about everything you feel. Write it down, a simple song, all your truth, memorize it, all your wisdom, and keep rapping or singing, whatever you do, guitar, and do it to the sun and the moon. Talk to the moon. I do it all day, and you're going to see sign. The moon hears you. When it's half, it becomes an ear or a belly or a testicle. It's awesome. Or when it's crescent, it's the Cheshire cat smiley mouth. It wants us to simply give back to her. You see what I mean? And so the world of Earth is sent to distract you. It's known to be a demon. Gaia is the demon. Why? It's the material world. Of course, it's meant to distract you so that you can know you have to earn the right to get out of the dome, because you're all the creations, brother. You're everything. Your ilium bone, Ilium, you have an ilium bone. It means Troy. Troy had many problems, but then there was victory. What's the victory? You are Achilles' tendon. Why didn't Brad Pitt and all these directors, everyone loves this shit. And it makes me mad because you and I are struggling because of these influences. They didn't break it down. So now you and I are here to do that. So I want to also show you have animals here. You have, for your number 3, you have a pelican, dove, butterfly, and an eagle. Do any of those things mean anything to you?
I mean, I love all those animals. You know,
Great.
They're all amazing animals. You know, whenever I see a pelican, I'm just in awe of it. And same as a butterfly, it brings a lot of peace. You know, and just a lot of So it's a positive thing.
Great. So your rune, RUNE, of the wonderful Druid people is Ingas. Ingas is the key phrase is live in the moment. Wow, and you sound like a guy that likes to do that. Am I right?
Yes, I have moments when I feel that, and I'm just like, this is incredible. Like, everything just synchronizes. Like, you know, especially recently, you know, like I've been feeling and visualizing my dreams from the past during the day, and I'm just like, whoa, like it's happening constant. And of course I'm seeing a lot of many quadruple and triple numbers all the time, and I'm just like, and you know, it's like it's a good thing, you know.
Well, you have a lot of 4s. You have 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4 4s in your name, dude. And you have 155. My name in Chaldean is 155. So how are we separate today with these people that like to just do birth chart readings only for a certain thing, and then they pick sides even in astrology? It's ridiculous. I haven't read any books. I read people. I read nature. We naturally have this gift. So now associating with your Ingas, your color again is yellow. It means to self-heal. You have an associated herb called self-heal. Write that down and get it. You have the gemstone for you is amber. Wear that. And your tree is apple. Eat more apples, get apple cider vinegar, and fast. Does this make sense to you?
Yep. Amber gemstones and apples, yeah. Wow. There's so much information to you know.
Yeah. It's heavy. It's heavy.
It's infinite. Yeah.
It is, man. That's why people can't watch my videos. And I mean, I get low views, but I get a lot of people who reach out for readings. This is why I do what I do. So we have a minute left. I'm just going to keep speaking simply and say thank you to David. Much love to Australia. Anyone watching this, know that I do this to meet people so that we can get organized like your government does to mind control us. Because if we don't do it and talk and meet and make a difference, we are the problem, not the Illuminati. Yes or no?
Absolutely. If there's a way that, you know, we could bless all these governments and just give them some love and awakening, and then they sort of sort themselves out and just accept and just make more balance.
We got 5 seconds left.
Just give up the fear.
Great.